So, here we are again. How you doing? As promised, I'm talking about more about the fast. Um, One of my most amazing things that happened to me while I was fasting, at least in my opinion, to me, one of the most amazing things, the most memorable things that I experienced was when I was fasting. Sometimes I would be going dry for, let's say, 4 days in a row. When I'm saying dry, I mean no food, no water, nothing of any kind is going in here except for air. And you, it made me very low on energy. I wasn't very able to walk around very far. Like one point I was trying to walk a dog, and I was so weak that he like ran off from the leash, fell right out of my hand. And when I was like, oh, I'm gonna run and catch him like I normally would. I just fell. I didn't go anywhere. But anyhow, so what I would do, because my body had no chi after a couple of days of being dry, and if you haven't seen the other videos, I'm talking about a year-long fast. I'm not talking about I went dry for 3 days. That's it. I mean, like it's been 6 months since I've eaten any food. I've been doing about 3 days dry and 2 days water and 2 days of freshly squeezed juice that I make myself at home with like a juicer machine, right? So that routine, three days dry, 2 days water, and 2 days juice, back to back to back every week for several weeks. So like let's say I'm like 5 months into that, and I'm like maybe more. I think this happened to me towards the end of the fast, like when I really discovered this. I would be walking somewhere, or I would be doing something, and I would get stranded. I would run out of life force. I ran out of chi and calories, however you want to call it, and I still needed to get back to somewhere where I could either drink water, drink juice, or rest. And what I would do, during this time, I was very connected to God and my spiritual helpers, and I always never felt alone. I always knew that things would work out. So I would stay very calm. I never like expended a lot of energy. Stay very calm, and I would sit down and know that there is life force available to me somehow. Somehow I can. I knew about breatharians. I knew that the body can convert many forms of energy into usable fuel. So, I had thought about downloading it from the stars or the earth, like just in qigong. You can do that. You can cycle your energy channels and connect to the cycles of the planets and like draw that energy in, which is all great and good. But I didn't even have enough energy to do that. Couldn't focus very much. So what I did was I would enter a meditative state, which at the time I was super easy for me to do because I was doing it constantly. It's still fairly easy for me to do now, but I just mean like, I would enter it like, and I was almost always already in it, but I would go into and completely quiet my mind, enter a complete state of infinite space, infinite silence, eternal peace, where I don't even exist anymore, or Mario doesn't exist anymore, but the true self is there. And then when that happens, when that mind is complete, all the attention, all my awareness is completely directed back upon itself. Consciousness, aware of consciousness, awareness aware of itself. It's like a mirror upon a mirror, and it creates this infinite space, infinite silence that I just described. When that is happening, I naturally have my heart blooming. The heart center starts to bloom immediately. And all the energy that's normally wrapped up in here, perceiving other things, judging things, and getting all that gets freed up, and somehow it gets centralized here in the chest, in the heart center, and it would bloom. And I knew this. This happened to me every time. So this time, I decided to really go in there. I entered infinite silence. my heart started blooming automatically, and then I started to go in there and really, really seek that light that was coming from my heart. There's a light blooming here, a glow that I could feel. Where is it coming from? What is that source? And I followed, I kept deeper and deeper and deeper and going deeper in there until finally I got to like the little heart of hearts. The tiny, it was like the size of a tiny like prick, like a tiny pinpoint. And it was black, and it was like a tiny wormhole. A wormhole or a black hole in the heart of hearts, in the center of the heart, that I went through. And on the other side, I discovered it was like a wormhole to another. It was to like the universe, to outer space, to the everything and everything. Everything that ever existed was in there. It was like a portal to the multiverse. That's how I would say it. A portal to the multiverse. A wormhole that connected, that was a bridge from which I could draw infinite amounts of energy if I could simply not be astonished by it, and just not clench up. That's basically all I had to do, was not clench up. That's something very common in meditation and in all these practices. If the more we can let go and simply have the intention and let that intention do it, like let that intention unfold. You let go, you hold the intention, but you let go of the me, I'm trying to do it, or I'm gonna mess it up, or the fear of any kind of messing it up when you don't have that clenching. So I was in a very non-clenchy sort of state, and I was able to do this for the first time ever, and then I got up and I walked all the way home for miles. Something that I wasn't able to do. I would never have made it all the way to my house. I knew that. And I lived, in Miami and in South Beach. And that's it. That's this video. Finding that portal and being able to draw that out with the breath and with the mind was probably the best, the most amazing thing. One of the most amazing things. Thank you for watching, and I will continue with some more videos about fast. Just sending love. Thank you.